Welcome, brothers and sisters, to Walking with Jesus Faith. Today, we're diving into a fascinating concept that might just change the way you approach your spiritual life. What if I told you there's a spiritual trick, a profound way of seeing and living that allows some people to find immense grace, deep wisdom, and opportunities for growth that most others simply walk past, completely unaware? It's like finding the greatest spiritual deals, the most invaluable treasures, before anyone else even realizes they exist. This isn't about earthly bargains. It's about unlocking the unseen riches God constantly offers us, if only we know how to look. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to have a deeper, richer spiritual life, yet they don't appear to be doing anything extraordinary? They aren't always on a pilgrimage or leading a huge ministry, yet their peace, their faith, and their connection with God feel incredibly profound. It often comes down to this: they possess a unique spiritual attentiveness, an ability to perceive the subtle, hidden deals of grace that God places right in their path, moment by moment. These deals are not loudly advertised. They are quiet invitations to grow, to love, to surrender, and to connect with Jesus in ways that transform the mundane into the sacred. This isn't about being special or having unique talents. It's about cultivating a specific spiritual posture that anyone can learn. The problem for many of us is that we are often waiting for God to show up in a big, dramatic way. We seek spiritual growth in grand events, powerful retreats, or sudden, life-altering revelations. And while God certainly works in those ways, our focus on the spectacular can blind us to His constant, quiet presence in the ordinary. We overlook the profound deals, the daily, subtle opportunities for grace that lie hidden in our struggles, our routines, our relationships, and even our suffering. We're spiritually distracted by the noise of the world or our own expectations, and we miss the countless small invitations God extends to draw us closer, to teach us, and to sanctify us. We might pray for holiness, but we don't recognize the small moments of patience, humility, or forgiveness as the very building blocks of that holiness. The trick to finding these spiritual treasures before others isn't about intelligence or privilege. It's about a posture of the heart, spiritual attentiveness, cultivated humility, and a poverty of spirit. The saints understood this profoundly. Think of Saint Benedict, who saw profound spiritual discipline in the rhythm of daily prayer and work. Or Saint Therese of Lisieux, whose little way was entirely about finding immense spiritual value and offering extraordinary love in the most ordinary, unnoticed acts. They weren't looking for grand spiritual gestures. Instead, they had eyes to see God's hand, His invitation, and His grace in the small, the mundane, and the hidden. They cultivated a heart sensitive to God's whispers, valuing what God values, even if it seemed insignificant to the world. This receptive, humble heart is always open to receiving all God offers, especially the hidden deal. So, how do we develop this spiritual attentiveness? We can cultivate what I call the threefold gaze of grace. This isn't complex, but it requires intentional practice. First, on the gaze of expectation. Approach each moment of your day, no matter how ordinary or challenging, with an expectation that God is present and actively offering you grace. Don't wait for a sign. Expect His presence. Ask yourself, where is God here? What might He be trying to show or give me in this moment? Second, erase the gaze of humility. Recognize your constant need for God's grace and help, especially in the small things. Humility opens our eyes to receive. When you feel frustration, recognize it as an opportunity for patience and humbly ask God for that grace. When you're tempted to judge, ask for the grace of charity. Third, the gaze of response. Promptly and lovingly respond to the subtle promptings of the Holy Spirit. These deals often require an immediate, loving yes. It might be a small act of kindness, a moment of silent prayer, an offering up of discomfort, or choosing patience over irritation. Don't let these precious moments of grace pass you by. Let's consider Sarah, a young professional who feels perpetually stressed by her demanding job and finds her spiritual life constantly squeezed. She longs for a deeper connection with Jesus, but feels too busy for long prayer sessions. Applying the threefold gaze of grace helps her find hidden deals. Instead of seeing her morning commute as a frustrating waste of time, she begins with the gaze of expectation, realizing it's a dedicated window God has given her. She uses it to silently pray a decade of the rosary, or simply offer her day to God. When a colleague is particularly difficult, instead of reacting with annoyance, she engages the gaze of humility, recognizing her own need for grace and praying for her colleague, offering up her frustration. Later, during a tedious task, she employs a gaze of response, offering the work up to God as a quiet sacrifice. Gradually, Sarah discovers profound peace and purpose, not by changing her circumstances, but by transforming them. Her ordinary life becomes rich with these unnoticed deals, weaving a continuous tapestry of grace and connection with Jesus. Consistently, practicing the gaze of grace doesn't just offer fleeting moments of peace. It fundamentally transforms your long-term spiritual journey. It cultivates an ongoing, intimate conversation with God. This steady practice deepens your relationship with Jesus, not through dramatic events, but through a constant, quiet intertwining of your life with His. You develop virtues like patience, charity, and humility, not as abstract ideals, but as living realities born from countless small choices. Your life becomes quietly rich in unseen grace, filled with a profound peace and joy that the world cannot give or take away. You become a quiet, authentic witness of faith, radiating Christ's presence simply by living a life attuned to His constant, loving invitation. This is how true, lasting spiritual growth occurs. My dear friends, the greatest spiritual deals are not exclusive. They are available to each of us, every single day, right where we are. The trick isn't to search for something grand, but to cultivate the eyes and heart to see the immense value in the small, the ordinary, and the hidden. I encourage you to take a practical step today. Choose one moment, perhaps your next chore, your next interaction, or your next quiet minute, and intentionally apply the threefold gaze of grace. Expect God's presence, humbly acknowledge your need, and lovingly respond to whatever subtle invitation He offers. Ask the Holy Spirit for the gift of spiritual attentiveness. This practice is how we truly walk with Jesus, not just occasionally, but in every step of our life. May God bless you as you seek to uncover His hidden treasure.